Hey guys, and so today I'm back with another alcohol tasting video. These ones went really well from my string of videos last week, and so I thought I'd do another one. I'm really raiding my liquor cupboards today, but today we are doing rum. Rum is a really great liquor, obviously, spirit, however you want to say. Um, Mostly based in the Caribbean, uh, and basically it is their bread and butter of alcohol from that sort of region of the world. Personally, rum is one that I would be thinking to mix it. I don't think there are many people around who just drink straight rum, but I think you get a lot of taster notes from drinking it straight, then thinking, what would you mix with it? Would you be going for a rum and coke, just mixing it with some sugar maybe and soda, going for a mojito, that kind of vibe? Lemonade, which is one most people don't think of with rum, but it's a very good rum and lemonade. As you can see from the colour, we are all going for sort of darker or spiced rums. We don't have any white rums, but on the other side, we don't have any navy, really dark rums. Neither are particularly my taste, especially when mixing. Gotta say, I'm partial to a white rum for, a mojito, or if you're going for like a white rum liqueur, a Malibu is great. And I think there's definitely space for a dark rum, but it's not quite to my liking, so let's get cracking. So first up we have a classic, a Captain Morgan's spiced rum. Now, I believe in the rum circles, Morgan's sometimes is a bit disrespected. It's just sort of, treated as a bit of a alcopop of the rum variation, but I actually love Captain Morgan's. I think a Captain Morgan's and Coke is one of the best drinks you can have. So, Schlaunter. So Morgan's has this really creamy taste to it, which I guess is why it gets more disregarded or whatever. But I've always found it strange, an almost ice creamy taste to Captain Morgan's. A Captain Morgan's and Coke just really reminds me of a Coke float, if you ever had one of those, or however you would call it in wherever you're from, but a Coke with ice cream on the top. That's always a taste to get from Captain Morgan's and Coke. It's a very sweet rum. Moving on to the next one. So Morgan's is a spiced rum. Captain Morgan's, it's the original spiced I have. Up next is the Appleton Estate, which I believe in a lot of bars, especially nicer end ones, will be your bread and butter rum. It's a very standard Jamaican blended rum. I've never tasted it up top, but from what I have tasted and what I would gather from it being a blended rum, it's going to be very smooth, just not too offensive on the palate, not letting you know it's there, probably a hint of sweetness to it. And essentially, I'm thinking the Appleton will be just a rum. I imagine the Appleton is much like vodka, where it's just there to be mixed with other stuff, but I could be proven wrong. Schlaunter again. Yeah, so it's a lot smoother. It sits a lot more calmly on the palate. It's not moving around too much. The Appleton is just there. It's just a lovely rum. You would mix with Appleton's very popular in cocktails because it doesn't do too much. It doesn't ask too much. It's not going to be busting in on the flavour on the cocktail. You can mix that in with like in a pina colada, and it's not going to overtake the flavour too much, really. So the Appleton is a very solid mixing rum, albeit a bit more expensive maybe. But I think rum, like whiskey, is one where you're going to spend a little bit more to get the better value for it. I have an interesting thought on this, what I think is interesting. I am a gin drinker myself. I love gin, but I would happily drink the bottom shelf £12 gin bottles, and I taste very little difference between them and a top gin. I love a Tanqueray. Tanqueray and Tonic is my favourite gin, but I could happily drink cheaper gins. and I think the same's for a vodka, although I'm not personally much of a vodka drinker. But with the rums and whiskies, I would definitely push a little bit off the bottom shelf. You don't want that Tesco value white label stuff with the whiskey or the rum. You're wanting a brand, or maybe not a brand, but a decent distillery for those. That's just a personal opinion though. Maybe you like the cheaper ones with the whiskey and the rum, and maybe you swear by a Hendrix or a Tanqueray with your gins. I don't know. Or maybe even you could be one of the people that is a Grey Goose vodka aficionado, which I've never understood. For me, vodka is vodka, and it doesn't matter how much you spend on it. I'm never going to particularly enjoy drinking it. I probably won't turn it away. So the last rum we have is a special one. It smells beautiful. This is a Dark Matter, distilled in Scotland. It was a special gift, so I'm not sure how readily available this rum is, but I would highly recommend it if you could find it. It is a very lovely rum. It is a spiced rum again, though it's got, if you compare that to the Morgans, it's got a much darker colour to it. So I'm expecting a much more woody, oaky finish to it. Award-winning, apparently. So I feel quite good saying these sort of like preludes to the rums, because unlike the whiskies and the tequilas, I've never drunk these straight before. I always mix my rum. But this one's from the Dark Matter, from the smell and the price tag, I guess. I'm expecting a little bit more from it. So Sláinte. Oh, that's lovely. That is definitely going to be one I will be drinking again. So, it's answered a few questions for me I've had, because when I've mixed this, I work with Fireball a lot, as you'll know if you've seen my whiskey video. Go back and watch that on my channel if you haven't. And I remember mixing with this after I'd mixed with Fireball and thinking, oh, cinnamon taste comes through. Maybe that Fireball just stuck around on my palate or something. But no, there's it doesn't say this on our Logic or Flavour Palette, but I get a very strong cinnamon taste with that, which I love. I'm a big fan of cinnamon, and I think I can personally handle a lot of that. But that came through like I wasn't expecting. It's a dark rum. It's like the other two, but just has a nice bit extra. You can definitely tell you're paying more for that one, which I think is very good. And I did say for the last whiskey which you had, which I can't remember the name. Guess you'll have to go watch the video for it. But yeah, that spiced rum was very good. I would highly recommend. I've never seen it in the shop shelves, but if you're in a specialist rum place or alcohol distillery, I would highly recommend finding this Dark Matter rum. So that's going to bring us to the end of the video today. If you've enjoyed it, please leave a like. Commenting helps a lot, helps with the feedback, and obviously subscribing to get you guys to come back for another videos. If I can get the sort of feedback that this is what people enjoy, I'd love to do more. I've got plenty of time on my hands at the minute, and I wish I knew the name, but there was one guy on my whiskey video who said that he'd like these triggers. So shout out to you, man. You're the reason I'm doing this again. Anyway, sorry, I could play with that for hours. Thank you very much. If I had to do a sort of tiers for these, I would say, as I said before, if you like your rums, 100% buy this Dark Matter. Invest and you will not go wrong. Morgan's is absolutely the one I would mix with Coke. I love Captain Morgan's. I could never recommend it enough. And the Appleton is absolutely your go-to for if you want a pina colada or a cocktail rum. I would definitely recommend this Appleton. But that's all for me, guys. Have a lovely night's sleep if that's what you're doing. Otherwise, have a blessed day. And I'm out. See you guys.